Hello.
Hello.
So, shit happened.
Yes, and I can't see it right now.
Why can you not see it? Oh, wait, hold on, I forgot myself. Hold on, shit.
We are well prepared.
I'm not in the office. There. There I am.
Now, yeah, I still don't see it.
What do
I
you
see
mean?
you now.
Why?
Wrong screen, maybe?
Am I sharing that screen? Why am I sharing that screen?
Because Discord is Discord. As per usual.
There.
It's stupid.
Right. Okay, well, let's get to the news.
Well, do we start with the... Before we do, though, I do have to kind of rant about one thing. That is a platform. That platform being used for not only jobs, but also for people to kind of show off. And that platform is none other than LinkedIn. For everybody that hasn't used it, good. If you're ever looking for a job, don't look there. Not only do they have entry jobs where they ask 5 years of experience, I am not kidding, they actually have the balls to do that. And yeah, come work with us. You only need 5 years of experience for an entry level, which is, at the entry, so you can actually learn.
Yes, sure. You just don't see the genius.
Well, I get it. You want people with experience, but then don't put it up as an entry level, but put it up as a medium level. So I don't get excited for a job and then find out it is just an entry level, or it's just like 5 years of experience.
No,
And
that
not
seems
only
like a
that,
you problem.
Not only that, you see, both of us recently got a diploma in mechanical engineering,
Yes.
which means making of drawings and all that stuff.
Yes.
I found a job listing.
Like our background. Oh, no, not like our background.
No. But, I mean, we could draw that in the office as well, some technical drawings.
Yeah, we could. We could make a technical drawing of the office.
Yes. No, but I'm a mechanic, I do the drawings, right?
Yes.
I found a listing that asked for a mechanical engineer and add their requirements for what they want from a person. They wanted somebody that completed a course in electrical engineering.
Yes.
I guess for somebody that doesn't know what they're talking about, those seem very similar. They're both engineering. However, no.
Have you ever seen? Have you seen that clip of Don McMillan where he like asks his audience, like, are there any engineers in the audience? And then someone speaks up. And he's like, what kind of engineer are you? I'm a software engineer. You're not an engineer, you're a writer.
Yeah. Like, what do software engineers do? They write code, so they're technically just a writer. They don't engineer, they don't think about what material goes well. They think of, what kind of code would work with this? Like, what language?
They do more than that.
So yeah, that's...
I've done a bit of
electrical
coding.
engineers. What do they do? Well, they might make electrical systems or drawings of those. But, yeah.
We've had a basic level, like, course in it.
I had to definitely real quick because my mother walked into my room because she just got home from the new place. But yeah, so electrical engineers basically just like people from the outside are like both see them as engineers. They're technical people. Just let them do their technical thing. Let them be nerds. But in the meantime, we know that there are two very separate things. Like they are very different. And that's yeah, imagine trying to then get a job. If all you can do is just look at listings that are just incorrect on all fronts.
True.
So that's why I went to a different platform, and luckily I did actually get I did apply for a job, and I might actually get it.
Sure.
Because, you know...
I do feel like we have some more relevant news to speak about right now.
What? It's not like there's a major like meeting of a lot of politicians happening.
Oh, that's not even what I was talking about.
Or the bombing of countries.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
It's not like that's happening. Like the entire Middle East blowing each other up again and then immediately quitting as soon as the US gets involved.
Does that count as quitting?
Well, you know what they did, right? Which was kind of funny. So you had, I think, the United States bombed Iran, then Iran bombed a US airbase in Qatar.
Yeah.
They warned each other. They're like, oh yeah, we're gonna bomb this place, so get everybody out. Both sides did it. It's just,
okay.
That's a lot more honorable than, you know, just bomb.
Yeah.
Like, where's the honor in war?
Well, that kind of was thrown out the window like a few decades ago.
A few decades or a few hundred years. I think I heard that someone made a point that like honor in war disappeared as soon as guns were introduced.
No, that's not true, because guns were introduced in the medieval period.
Because, well, they
sucked,
honorable,
but they existed.
Yeah, but as soon as like actually ranged weapons really started taking off.
Yeah.
Because, well, it's pretty much the thing of, instead of me actually having to fight you, I'm just gonna sit a kilometer away in a bush and shoot your head off. So you've never seen me, you never even noticed me, and you're already dead. That's apparently how fighting goes these days.
Yeah.
And so I mean, standing in a long line, shooting at people, like they did with early guns, like that's not a good idea either. But I mean, it's still a bit better than the other stuff. Or at least more honorable. But yeah, it's kind of we're at a point in time right now where not only is our tensions high because for some reason politicians decided now is a good time to mess around. I mean, LA
Yeah.
is still a big one.
Yes.
If we're talking about a thing, like Los Angeles is a pretty big. I almost want to say turning point.
Well, we'll see about that, I guess.
Yeah, but it basically did indicate that they are pretty much done with the bullshit
Yeah.
of politicians.
Yeah.
That the US has been sort of pushing through. It's also kind of weird to me, right? You have the. Like, there's a NATO thing here
Yeah.
in the Netherlands.
Yeah.
Like, a big meeting.
Like right now.
Yeah. And apparently they're making a really big point on the news that Air Force One is landing at an airport. And to me that's just a little bit weird. Like, why advertise that so much?
Because, yay, America, woohoo.
Yay, soon to be dictatorship if there's no intervention, woo. Like that is a fact.
Perhaps.
If there is no action taken against the United States and they face no opposition whatsoever, then there is a non-zero chance that it'll end up as a dictatorship.
Yeah, I know.
Because guess who was talking about a third term?
Yeah, I know. I doubt he can achieve that.
I doubt he's still alive by then.
uh, that depends. I mean, that's possible.
That man. No one know how old Trump is.
And I know he's actually kind of old.
Try 78.
Yeah.
My man is almost 80.
Yeah, I know.
And people somehow still see him as fit to run a country. As one does.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're not in the United States, we're in the Netherlands, so...
Yeah. So, what was the whole situation with Iran or Iraq? I think Iran.
Iran. I think they bombed
They
Israel.
they bombed like the nuclear place, like where
the
nuclear
United
bombs
States
are made.
got 3 nuclear facilities of Iran.
Yeah.
Iran then attacked Qatar, and then now they've decided to hold a ceasefire.
Oh, well, that was quick.
Yeah, the US got involved.
Yeah, fair enough.
And I mean, I did see a meme actually.
Oh no.
That said, born too late or born too early to get deployed to the Middle East, born too late to be too early to deploy to the Middle East and too late to deploy to the Middle East, and born just in time to be deployed to the Middle East. Because for some reason the US always has beef with the Middle East, and I can guess why.
Because they have the oil.
Yes, they have the liquid. The liquid for fuel. The sad thing is, they are willing to do a lot of things, a lot of bad things to get said oil.
Yeah.
Like, you know, killing a lot of people.
Yeah.
And once they have all that oil, I think was it 2021 when they left?
I have no idea.
Let me look that up real quick because Google exists. When did the US pull out of Iraq? Now that the Middle East. 2000. They're saying 2011, but 2021 they left Iraq.
I see.
So it was 2021 when they
Yeah.
left the Middle East, and immediately the Taliban came back.
Yeah, I know.
Like they just stayed hidden until the US would leave, and then they just came back.
Yeah.
And
well, that's how that works, I guess.
Yeah, and it's overall the entire Middle East is just full of the politician, like basically religious politicians, basically.
Yeah, I know.
And they're all fighting for the same piece of land.
Yep.
And especially if you start involving like a piece of land that is seen as the Holy Land for pretty much a lot of religions, then they are gonna be mad. Because no, it's my piece of land. You're basically gonna get. They're gonna be like 10-year-old or 8-year-olds fighting because it's my piece of land. No, it's mine. I found it first. It's mine. You're gonna get that a lot.
Yep.
Because that's religion for you.
That's what humans choose to do with it.
I guess. I guess we do have I guess, because no, my religion is the best. No, my religion is the best.
I mean, the word human, there's a reason the word human contains man. It always has to be bigger, better, stronger than the other.
Sadly, that is the truth. It is sadly the truth that for some reason it always needs to be better. It needs to be like, sure, going for improvements is good. Like, you need improvements, right? Otherwise, how else are you supposed to actually continue as a species, right? You have to continuously improve yourself, or at least it doesn't even have to be big. You can just like small improvements, making sure that everything is fine.
Are you subhumanist?
No, I'm an idiot.
I mean, I don't think those have to be mutually exclusive.
I guess.
Like, I'm sure even cyborgs can be dumb, Joe.
I guess so, yeah. I guess they can all be stupid.
Yes.
I mean, I can be really dumb, but
now that I think about it, subhumanism would actually be kind of dangerous. Now that I like, because humans are stupid enough as is.
Oh, definitely.
So if you combine that with technology like built in,
yeah.
Wouldn't we make a species that is almost defined by conflict even stronger?
Yeah. I mean, for example, like take any war, for example. Just pick a war in your head and think of it. What caused it? Most likely, it's something dumb.
A beauty contest between goddesses.
Exactly. Like, it's pretty much just...
Bit of an unrealistic one. We don't even know if the war actually happened, but But to be fair, it's not completely unbelievable.
No, but... I mean... It's basically just think of any war and then think of what caused it, and most likely it's going to be some dumb conflict between two politicians.
Yeah.
Like... That is pretty much a given.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, fair enough.
Like, all you need is two people being mad at each other because they're politicians, and look how tiny it is. Yeah, dick measuring contests, basically. Isn't that what most wars are, though? Like, just massive dick measuring contests?
They can be, I guess.
If you look at it.
Yeah, maybe.
Like, what? I mean, it's either that or somebody did something annoying to the other, and then they just did a one up the other every single time, and that ended in a conflict. But hey, these days we can threaten with bombs that can annihilate entire countries. Instead of just, I'm gonna take over your land. Honestly, nuclear bombs aren't even useful.
No, I know.
If you think about it. Like, let's say you want my land. So you throw a nuke on top of my country.
Yeah.
Now that entire land is unusable because a nuke is dropped on there.
No, but you don't get it. It's mine.
Yeah, it's yours, but good luck using it.
That was my
You-
goal. Sure, it's just that it doesn't. It doesn't have to be usable. It just has to be mine.
So it just has to be yours because yours is now bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah, you result. That's basically the entire conflict. That's how those conflicts work in a nutshell.
I know.
Like you want something, it's like small children. You want something I have, and I don't want to give it to you. So now you're gonna whine and be very annoying and throw bombs at me.
As children do. Actually, children would.
Exactly.
Children,
You're acting like toddlers.
children absolutely fucking would.
Yeah.
Mostly because they just don't understand it.
No, just think this will solve. This solves my problem.
Yeah.
Whee!
Yeah.
Whoops. Like that's what you're gonna get. You're just gonna get the whoops there. Like, oh wait, now I solved the problem.
Yeah. And then years later, they realize what they've done and they are traumatized for life.
Yep. So kids, don't drop bombs.
There's this
Hope you've learned
awesome,
something.
like, there's this, I don't know if you've read this, but it was pretty famous when it came out. Like a Dutch children's book, like Thundercat, if I were to translate it.
Not
About,
familiar with it.
no, okay, it's about a family and like, it literally opens with the neighbor's backyard exploding. And they find out eventually that that happened because the main characters, there's like two main characters, a brother and a sister. Their mother is a scientist who can make bombs out of anything. So it becomes a joke throughout the whole book that, oh yeah, we can make bombs out of apple juice and licorice, and then eventually they actually fucking do.
Yeah.
But anyway, there's like, I think there's like 3 or 4 books of this, and in one of them, the mother has developed a video game that teaches children how to make bombs. And then governments
Awesome.
banned it because they were like, oh, that's dangerous. And then because they banned it, all the children that were playing that game started making bombs until the government would allow the game again.
Power move.
Like, it's genuinely, they're really fun books. I might try to reread them at some point.
I guess.
They were just dumb. Like, one of them, they go live in a yellow submarine, and then they ask their father, like, why is it yellow? Because of the song.
Yes.
You know, like
Which due to
the
copyright reasons, we're not gonna put on this.
yeah, no.
Because we don't want to get sued.
But like,
Or at
it's,
least I don't want
yeah,
to get sued.
it's just, it was just stupid, you know. Oh, holy fuck. I've accidentally made a gigantic trail. You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Yeah, I will.
You will connect to the trail.
I will. It's like there. Is it that one? Yes. I think the other one is as well. But now it gets more fun. Because now I want to go back. Anyway, what were we talking about? Oh, right. Iraq. So what was actually their reason to bomb it?
They bombed the U.S. in kind of a retaliation against U.S. bombing them.
Oh, did the U.S. bomb them?
The U.S. bombed 3 nuclear facilities in Iran. And Iran was then like, yo, that's not gonna...
yeah, but what was the cause for the U.S. to do that?
I guess because I think they bombed Israel, and, you know...
Oh.
So, one attacks the other, then an external party gets involved again.
Uh-huh.
You know, as per usual, it's bullshit that's happening.
Yeah. Yeah.
But what are we to do? What do we have to do? I mean...
Continue to play Metal Gear Rising.
As people, all we can do is basically just go for, I guess, trying to get the we can do protest basically.
We can petition.
The attention.
We can petition for Trump to see the Armstrong cutscene.
No, that's no.
I don't know if he would think it inspiring or ridiculous, because if he thinks it ridiculous, then he thinks himself ridiculous.
Wouldn't surprise me.
I mean, not that ridiculous, like, because of course, you know, it's an exaggeration, but like...
Wouldn't surprise me if he thinks of it as ridiculous and not even realize that he's basically talking about himself.
Dude, Armstrong is actually who Trump wishes to be. Anyway, was that all we really need to discuss about Iran? Or Iraq? Iran? Because I don't really know the detail. Like, I think this is kind of all there is, right?
I think so far.
So, there's also NATO, which I don't think we've really talked about this, because this has been going on for months now here in the Netherlands. Like, NATO, you might think, oh, that started today. No. That started like half a year ago.
They
for us.
Removed trees.
Like,
moved them somewhere else.
I think about 3 months ago, they were like, hey, NATO is coming here. We're gonna block this street, which, I don't know the name of the street by heart, but it is basically the street to enter The Hague, which is, well, it's not our capital, but it might as well be.
It's a place where all the politicians are.
Yeah, for some reason our politicians are not in the capital. They're in a city that doesn't even have city rights historically. Like,
they're in a city which is for some reason very confusing train stations.
But anyway, so they blocked basically the main entrance to the city. They removed trees indeed to make parking space. They publicly announced that half the police force is gonna be there, and then not from the Hague, from the country. Half the police force in the Netherlands are gonna be there. They announced that publicly.
Yeah.
So, sure.
Yes.
There's a bank near here. You free?
No, because I'm busy moving.
Well, wouldn't you want some extra money for moving? You could buy a bigger apartment.
I guess, and I don't, even if we get caught, we don't have to worry about money again.
So yeah, no, it's just so far it's just kind of been like, I don't know. And I think Trump landed in the Netherlands yesterday.
Today, actually, I think.
Oh, was it today? Whatever, he's here now. He's our problem for a little bit. Yesterday with my parents, we were like discussing like, what is he going to eat, right? And my brother was like, well, probably. Yeah, but yeah, my brother was also like, yeah, probably McDonald's.
Like,
but I was like, no, he probably took his own food because he probably doesn't want to benefit our economy.
Did you know that there is an image, I think, where Trump is eating McDonald's in Air Force One?
Yeah, I know. I have seen that. In fact, with, I don't think he still works, but what's his name again? Hoekstra. Fucking Pete Hoekstra, who they called Pete Hoekstra, which is very fitting, because of course it's just because they cannot pronounce a Dutch name, but he spout fake news quite a lot, to the point that Trump was like, I'm gonna give you a job. So, because I don't think he's still in that position, but for the people who don't know, Pete Hoekstra was born in the Netherlands, and then like he moved to America when he was like 3 years old, and then he started working as like, what do you call that when you represent a government in a different nation?
Ambassador.
Yeah. He started working as an ambassador, for America here in the Netherlands, right? So, some of the things he said in America, like in America's political place, like in the government and whatever, he literally was like, they're burning politicians. There are no-go zones, whatever the fuck that is. Like, basically he was saying like, oh, it's a mess there in the Netherlands. And it's like, what? We've never burned a politician here, at least not in the past 200 years, as far as I know. So, I don't know what he was on about. And then a journalist, obviously, confronted him about this. And then he said that he never said that. And he says, we would call that fake news. And then a little later, the journalist is like, well, but you called it fake news. I didn't call that fake news. I didn't use that word today.
Yeah. I just do not understand sometimes the sheer ability for a politician to be so incompetent.
Yeah, I know.
Like there are so many ways to actually, you know, run a country. And of course, everybody does it differently. There are differences here and there. But there are ways to ruin a country.
Yes.
Like running it like one of your companies that has gone bankrupt. Like Trump Ice.
What?
He's literally sold ice. As in frozen water.
Why?
Ice. Because stupid.
Like, just as like a business thing?
Yes. Like, I think I talked about this before, but there is a nice list of Trump's companies bankruptcies. Let's see. Do they business bankruptcies? You have over leveraged hotel and casino business. You had Trump Taj Mahal, Trump Plaza Hotel and Casino, Pizza
Trump
Plaza Hotel,
Taj
Trump
Mahal.
Yep. Trump Entertainment Resorts.
No,
That
that
is
just
business
sounds
bankruptcies.
like if I go there, I'm gonna see Trump fucking belly dancing. I wouldn't want to see that.
There, every Trump business that went bankrupt. You have Trump University, Trump Casinos, Trump Mortgage, Trump Social, or Truth Social, which it's still not profitable. Like, it's not entirely bankrupt Truth Social, but it's basically just him, just an echo chamber for himself. Trump Steaks, the Trump Network, Trump Vodka, because of course he's gonna sell alcohol. Trump Shuttle, which is basically he purchased Eastern Airlines shuttle service and just it took 3 years.
So are we
GoTrump.com.
Are we talking about a politician or a fucking advertisement? What?
Trump Ice. As an early 2000s luxury bottled water sourced from natural springs. Yeah. Like, yeah, Trump Home. Trump Fragrances.
Was Trump home?
Yeah.
As in like Google Home?
No, just luxury furniture designed to reflect the Trump lifestyle in 2007. So basically, everything's overly expensive.
So you get
and uncomfortable.
Overbuilt, expensive, uncomfortable McDonald's. That's what you get.
Not even overbuilt, underbuilt.
Oh, that's awesome. No, I meant overbuilt. I mean like way too fancy. Like not necessarily that's good quality, just fancy.
You have Trump the Game, which is basically it released in 1998 and was a Monopoly-style game that mimicked Trump's real estate deal-making.
Okay,
It underperformed and was quickly discontinued, and had a brief revival in 2004. But
at least that was before he became a president. Like,
yeah, but it kind of didn't work because not only is the board game market already kind of saturated. Like, bringing out a new board game doesn't really do much.
Yeah, true.
These days, especially with digital stuff. But just Monopoly as well. You know how many different versions of Monopoly there are?
Yeah, I know.
There are a lot of different versions of Monopoly out there. Like, whichever one tickles your fancy, you can get a Monopoly version. You have Trump Communications. Like, it offered long distance calling. You have Trump Magazine. You have Trump Institute, and that's basically it. But yeah, and pretty much you can put the United States on there as well. Because, yes.
Not sure. That's mean.
Not really.
That implies that it was completely Trump's fault, actually.
It wasn't. He's the one that makes the laws.
Can we talk about how we went from Obama to this?
What do you mean? How we started with Obama, basically?
Granted,
Oh,
granted, all I remember from Obama is from when I was, 10.
yeah, but the thing is, Obamacare does exist.
I know. But like,
and that is a pretty big thing, actually. That was a pretty big thing because it allowed people who actually didn't have the money for health insurance to get health insurance. Because it's kind of important to keep your health up. And because of course in the United States health insurance is a big thing.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't have health insurance, you're done.
Yeah.
As soon as one bad thing happens to you.
Well, here in the Netherlands, we're obligated to.
Yeah, here in the Netherlands, you have to have health insurance, which for the basic package, like the most basic package, it's basically costs 150 euros a month. That is the most basic of packages that you can get. It only covers like the normal hospital stays that you can have here. Like, it doesn't even cover dental.
Yeah. Wait, does it not?
No,
Isn't that just a separate thing entirely anyway?
You can get it included. Like, you can get it both. Like, you can get dental in a separate package, like next to your basic package. It doesn't cost a lot extra per month. It just costs some extra per month. Which means that if you don't want it, then it is cheaper. Like, if nothing bad happens to you the entire year with your teeth, then it is more efficient and cheaper to get the most basic of pack to exclude it. But as soon as one bad thing happens, it's gonna get real expensive. You can only change insurance once a year.
Yeah.
Like, it only changes at like the end of a year.
Yeah.
If you don't change at the 1st of January, you're done. Luckily, I included dental in mine because I assume things are just... Like, knowing my luck, if I exclude it, it's gonna come back to bite me.
Oh, you're just superstitious.
Oh, please. Everything I've ever done in life has come back to bite me in some way. So, yeah.
Well, then maybe go for a less aggressive rabbit.
My rabbit is not aggressive at all, although it did hit me.
Well, if you say everything in your life has come to bite you.
In a metaphorical sense. Of Of course, no one in the literal sense that he's. I mean, you haven't bit me yet, so.
You can't be sure of that. We shared a hotel room.
And you did say you didn't sleep.
I didn't sleep. Yeah. It's actually because you tasted terrible.
because I kept moving around.
Yes.
Which apparently I do that in bed, move around.
Yes. Should we give context to this, or should we just leave it?
I just leave it. It's funny if people have to guess. Because that is just funny. If people have to guess why. You know what I was about to say? We still have to do something for our graduation. Forgetting, we already did that.
What? We already graduated. What
Yeah,
are you on about?
Like for the part where we got our diploma, we still have to do something for that.
I took you to a fucking museum.
Yes. A museum that involved steam.
Yeah, we already talked about this last week on the podcast.
Yes. For some reason, my mind was like, I guess we still have to do something.
I mean, we can do it again if you pay.
And of course, we're not gonna go to the same museum. That's just
yeah.
like that's a dumb idea.
Maybe. But when have you ever opposed that?
Yeah, I guess so. And also dependent on the museum, because I have gone to the railway museum multiple times in my life, and even more like the thing is with the railway museum, there's a free part of it. Because here in the Netherlands we have a railway museum, because I think every country has a railway museum.
Maybe, I don't know.
But here in the Netherlands we have one that literally has its own train station. Like they have their own train station, an actual train, like a modern standard train runs there. Like not often, but a normal train does run, which is it is a decent train ride. It's kind of short, like 10-20 minutes, and the tracks are so crappy laid out that you have to the train driver has to walk to the other side of the train. Like you have to legit wait, like you have to stop, wait for another train to pass, and once that train is passed, only then are you allowed to go again. Because of course the train doesn't have priority. Like the main goal for that museum is like the elderly and small children. Well, more the elderly and small children combined, because the kids are at their grandparents, where the grandparents taking them. A museum, because of course. But to make it interesting for the kids, you're adding trains to it, because trains are amazing.
Gotta fuel that Thomas the Tank Engine addiction.
I guess. And of course, you have the not only Thomas the Tank Engine addiction, but also the general train addiction.
Well, that's just you.
Yeah, that is just me, but
Actually, that's not completely true. I like trains. I like trains as a kid because of Thomas the Tank Engine.
yeah. And not because they're like, is it just steam trains or is it also?
I don't remember. Actually, my favorite train in Thomas the Tank Engine was I know his name. He may not have even had a name. It was like one with like it was like green with a like a claw on the top.
Green with a claw on the top?
Yeah.
Like
in
from
Thomas
a
the Tank
series or
Engine.
from,
Like in Thomas the Tank Engine.
or from a movie?
I think in both. I don't know.
Because the only thing I can from what I can remember is Diesel. I think it was called Diesel 10.
Oh, that might be it. Yeah, that might be it.
That was the only one I think that actually had a claw on.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever actually seen him in like a show or movie, except for like a little sort of teaser at the end of one movie, I think. But I had him as a toy, and I just thought he looked so cool.
Yeah, the problem is in the movie he's kind of the bad guy.
Yeah, I know that. I know that. I can get that from his design, but
considering once it gets rid of steam engines, because well.
Yeah, I know, but that's all the diesel trains. That's not just him. But the other ones are just kind of dickheads about it, and I think he actually was evil.
Yeah, the other ones are just a dick towards other steam engines.
Yeah.
Because I can get it. Steam engines are more inefficient.
Well, the difference in the show was that they actually did the fucking job.
The thing about steam engines, right, compared to diesel, steam engines have a lot more torque down low, while diesels have it up high. So a diesel can run a train it can't start.
Yeah.
Like once it's going, it can pull. But a steam engine can start a train it can't run. It just doesn't have the top speed for it.
Wait. A diesel train, once it goes, it goes?
Well, yeah, obviously.
Okay, so I had this movie on DVD. I think it was called Misty Island. And I've watched it way too much. To the point that I still sometimes have the stupid theme, like the music theme from that movie in my head sometimes. And it literally opens with like the I think his name is literally Diesel, just the black one, like and with like the main guy, like the guy with the hat, the conductor or whatever. He's like the person that can, like, the train that can bring this wood, or that can do their job, will bring this wood to the place or whatever, because it's like, it was like very important wood. That was like an important job, so you had to like earn to do that, right?
Yeah.
And then I think his name was Diesel. He was like, nah, I'm not gonna listen to that. I'm just gonna do it anyway. And so then he does it, and Thomas like follows him because it's like, oh, he's doing something that he's not allowed to do.
Yeah.
And then he approaches a broken bridge, and because he's like fleeing from Thomas, he can't stop, so he nearly falls off the bridge.
Was this still in like the proper era of
No,
this
is like the computer animated one.
Oh.
Yeah.
That is at least
It's better than the shit we have now.
Yeah, it's better than what we had. It was through. It went from like a literal like for the young kids out there, which feels weird to say.
I don't
Like
think
Tom's
there's kids
Tank
watching.
Engine
I don't
started.
think. I don't think kids watch a podcast, Joe.
Eh, you never know.
True.
But it's Tom's Tank Engine started out with just models and somebody telling a story over it. Just literally just visualizing a story. That's what they were doing.
Yeah.
But then later on, they started, like after a while, they introduced 3D animation to it.
Yeah.
Like they actually started getting voice actors and, doing that.
Yeah.
But
And it
after a
was
while,
fine.
yeah, after a while, they switched to, like they completely
Okay,
switched from a 2D anime,
yeah,
from a
okay.
3D
Yeah.
animation to a 2D,
Yeah, okay.
giving
Here's the
entirely
deal.
different proportions.
Here's the
And
deal.
ruined everything.
I prefer 2D animation over 3D a lot of time. But what the fuck is that shit?
It's probably the cheapest
They're
they
not
could get.
even, yeah, because they're not even, as far as I can I haven't watched an episode of this. I just watched like the intro of it and I was like, god damn it. From what I can tell, we sound so stupid right now. We're complaining about Thomas the Tank Engine.
That is valid thing to complain about.
But whatever, here we go. From what I can tell, they have a couple of perspectives drawn, and they animate from there. As in, they animate the face, and they kind of stretch the the image a little bit to give it some movement. And I think that's it. So there's no like panning shots or anything. They just have like a front view that's like slightly from the side. There's like a side view, and I assume there's a back view, but I don't know.
They basically lowered the budget so much. It wouldn't surprise, like, on one hand it would surprise me, but also wouldn't if they just had their budget cut for the program too many times.
Maybe.
Basically saying, oh yeah, your budget has changed now.
I doubt you would need a big budget for the original one. I think that would be way cheaper than the computer animated.
Well, you have to get the models, right?
Well, yeah, but they already had most of those.
And you have to give them a face, and they had a little animation on the face, like
that was not animation. They just switched the face.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you basically had you basically all you needed was one model and a bunch of faces.
Yeah. So I think that was definitely cheaper than computer animation.
I guess it could also be too much manual labor that got involved.
Maybe, yeah.
In the making of it. Because, it is a lot of manual labor that gets involved that way.
Was that still made by the original creator? Because I assume that Thomas the Tank Engine originally was just made by some dude that was like, hey, I'm gonna just make a train story.
Well,
I have model trains, I'm just gonna stick a face on them, and there we go.
It actually didn't start with that, weirdly enough.
Really?
Like, Tom's the Tank, like, I this shows how much of a trainer I am. I have actually watched a video about the full history of Tom's Tank. It started out as books.
Oh, yeah, wait! I think I think I used to have one of those old books. Now you say that?
It started out as a bunch of books, and then it went just from there.
Yeah, no, like I had some of those old books.
And then it got an entire country,
Actually, I think my
entire
grandmother
generation,
had them.
and it got an entire generation addicted to trains because yay.
Yeah.
And now you have a government that wants to defund the trains. So if you want more train, then ask for more train. I'm wondering if we all ask for better public transport, will it actually happen? Or will politicians be like, oh yeah, we'll do that, and then not do it?
Well, duh.
Because, you know, public transit is important, especially trains.
Yes.
And, like, I've talked about this with people before. Like, a good way to actually have, you know, a good train system in place is to install to get post offices at train stations again. Because these days a lot of mail is delivered, you know, at home. Like people order everything. That's why a lot of stores are going out of business and shopping malls are emptying out. That's why that is happening. And that's not good. But if you put a post office at a train station, you can then, with the massive amount of packages that are being ordered right now, you can basically say, all right, well, time to shove it on a train instead of on a lot of trucks. Because guess what? Trains can pool. The weight capacity of a train is a lot. If you think about it, like, compared, there are actually train cars that allow you to put like semi-truck trailers on top of them. So you just see a truck with a trailer on the back, on top of it, or train car with a semi-truck thing on it. Which to me seems kind of weird because shipping containers exist. But you can basically have box cars filled with your mail.
Yes.
How they used to do it. And then ship that to your town, unload what needs to be unloaded, and if you want your package, come pick it up. Like, just no questions. Just, I guess you can have a delivery service. Like that would be an option. Just having a delivery service to work with, but you don't need those big trucks and those big vans anymore.
Yeah.
All you need is, you know, some like the small electric the cars that we have in the Netherlands, like the ones from Picnic, which is a food delivery service, which we are not sponsored by, and I don't like them because they're lazy.
Are they? I don't know.
Well, unless you're like really busy. To me, having that as a service just seems.
Well, that's not up. That's not up to Picnic though. That's up to their clients.
Yeah, but I do see those clients as sort of lazy.
Yeah.
Because, well, like if you have the time for it and you're home 24/7, because, well, you're working from home, then you can take that hour to go shopping.
Dude, I used to have like the exact same sort of opinion for like what's it called again? Like the water.
The water?
Yeah, they have like scented water.
Oh, those flavored
water
things.
what's it called again? Whatever, you know what I mean. The ones where they put like smell on a bottle and then you taste it. At first I was like, yeah, Arab, yeah. At first I was like, I hate this. Like, this is stupid. And then I realized, no. No, I don't hate this. I hate that it's necessary for people to drink water.
Yeah, it is kind of necessary to drink.
Yeah, no. I mean, like, as in that it's necessary to get people to drink water.
Yeah, but you also legit have flavored water.
Well, yeah, but that's unhealthy.
Not necessarily.
Oh, okay, sure, but it's not as healthy as, like, just drinking water.
You have to get the right ones, and not the sugary ones. But there are options. But a lot of people apparently, like, personally, I like water. It's a good drink. But for some reason, a lot of people are like, water, that I don't like it because it doesn't taste like anything. Like, yeah, of course it doesn't taste like anything, but...
Well, then you just use your fucking imagination or something.
Sure. Like, even that is already a thing. Like, use your imagination, use whatever. But, like, nothing's better, especially if it's cold. Like, that almost freezing water. Also, water's cheap. If you get it from your tap, it is just...
Oh, not every country can do that.
Yeah, but if you're in the Netherlands and you don't like water, you are quite literally throwing away money.
Yeah.
Because if you can actually get the if you can get a cylinder which can hold liquids, either a glass or cup or mug, whatever, put it on your tap, open it till it's almost full, close it, so you have your cylinder of water. It might cost you a couple cents, probably not even. Like, just for a small amount of water that, I mean, it is gone immediately. It's not like you can use it for a long time because you're probably gonna chug it anyway. But it is pretty much.
Yeah.
It is pretty much perfect, basically. You just have your water. You drink it. It also makes pee. It also means that your body can flush enough through it so you can pee enough, and it's not yellow. Well, a little bit yellow, actually, because if your pee is like completely clear, then you are drinking too much.
Sure.
It has to be, for it to be healthy, it has to be like as a slight yellow greenish tint.
Sure, this episode sucks.
Yes, I know. It's because it's a lot about random things.
We just had like
politicians,
two of the
engine and piss.
We had two of the biggest news things this week, to be fair, and other than that, we have fucking nothing.
Yes.
I just read that apparently there's I knew about the wolf that bit somebody here in the Netherlands.
Did a wolf bite someone?
Yeah, like a while ago.
Maybe they shouldn't have.
But apparently that park where that wolf lives is still open to the public, and now biologists from outside the Netherlands are just like saying like, "Hey, you're stupid." Because
Like,
wolves are not dangerous to people usually, but if you know that a wolf has bitten somebody, then that is a danger.
just
Like,
just if you don't know that a wolf has been there, it's not dangerous. But as soon as you know a wolf has been somewhere, it is
no, no,
suddenly now
no, no,
dangerous.
no, no. If a wolf is somewhere, then usually you're fine. Like, usually they're afraid of humans. But if one isn't, because sometimes they can be. Like sometimes they're braver or something, or maybe someone fed them and it was just a dumb idiot. Uh, then they become more. Then they suddenly become dangerous because they are stronger than you.
Yeah. I mean, also if like that's a reason why you're not allowed to feed animals at like safaris where you drive through with your car. Not only is it do they not know what kind of food you are giving, because that's a thing as well. But you also then have the problem of they
Yeah,
now expect it.
yeah,
And if they are expecting it, then you're in trouble. Because they have to bring food with you, because if you don't, guess what's gonna happen? Whoops. You they expect food from you, you don't have it, they start getting annoyed because well, where's the food? They get mad at you and you're dead. That's why they don't want you feeding the animals at zoos as well. It's also health, but it's also to prevent them from expecting it, and the people that don't bring food with them because they are not stupid from suffering unnecessarily. And people still fail to grasp that.
yeah.
People are dumb.
Yes,
That's why warning labels exist.
yes.
To warn you about labels and potential dangers. I mean, some of them are unnecessary in my opinion. But then again, people fail their or get a mark on their yearly inspection for having flat tires. Like in the Netherlands, you have to get your car inspected yearly, so they know it's safe. Which is a good thing. Slightly annoying, but it's a good thing. And I have seen cars where they had a where they had a point, they had a mark on like the report that said tire pressure too low.
I see.
So you couldn't, in your infinite wisdom, go to a petrol station to refuel. Because you do that anyway, right? You refuel anyway. It doesn't really matter. That's not a surprise that you refuel.
Yeah.
But to then forget to fill your tires with air.
It's fine. It's fine, Joe.
Your tires need air.
Actually, they don't anymore. You have tires now without air. Like, they don't need air.
Yeah, but they don't. They might be. I think they're expensive and experimental.
I don't know. I just know they exist. I assume
Yeah, I know
they're
they exist
expensive.
as well. Yeah, and they're expensive, which means people are gonna still go for the normal basic cheap tires.
But I do think that that is a good place to wrap it up.
What with incompetence from people that don't know how to maintain their own car. Which, to be fair, some maintenance schedules are a bit ridiculous and complicated, and some cars are ridiculous and complicated. But come on. At least make sure that if you're getting your car fixed, or if you don't know how to fix a car, bring it to a shop that can actually take care of it. Instead, like, as soon as it starts making a noise, bring it somewhere. Because ignore the noise because, well, it's expensive. Like, yeah, that's what cars are, expensive. And if you don't properly maintain your car, things are only going to get more and more expensive. Like, oh, you're a slight knock in your engine. I just turn up the radio and do it again and again and again, and suddenly you hear dunk, and then it sounds really hollow, and there's a hole in your engine, and you need an entirely new engine, while you might have just needed some parts that are a couple $100. So you basically start adding zeros to your bill to fix your car. And at that point, it's cheaper to buy a new car.
Yeah.
And we don't want that because that's a waste of materials, resources, and other things that aren't infinite. So things are only going to get more and more expensive over time.
Yeah. But
and if we don't, so you better start caring about your resources. Also, one more thing, which actually is a news thing.
Oh.
Which I guess we just forgot. Fuel prices are probably going to go up.
Yeah.
Because
yeah,
they decided, I think it was Iran as well, decided to close a strait, which coincidentally runs 20% of all oil.
Yeah.
So yeah, 20% of if 20% of oil suddenly has to go through somewhere else, that means that the prices are gonna skyrocket.
Yep.
But yeah, that was basically the last thing. So
Right.
I guess it only leaves one thing.
Yes.
We're not experts,
but we were here.